Welcome. We're back. Another day in the market. We're in for a packed stream tonight. It's the final stream of the week, and we got a lot to talk about. Just a quick rundown before we get into everything. I'm going to be talking about Clover, some new data that I'm looking at for Clover. We're going to do a Clover chart breakdown. We're going to be talking about FSR. We're going to be talking about the earnings on FSR. We're also going to be talking about the market, my thoughts on the market going into tomorrow. We're going to be looking for potential lotto option ideas, high risk, high reward. We're also going to be talking about Bitcoin, the ongoing swing trades. A lot to talk about tonight for sure. So yeah, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And I think while people are hopping into the stream, we're just going to talk about Bitcoin really quickly. We go over to the 4 hour. I've been talking about this falling wedge on Bitcoin. Well, 2 nights ago, I brought it up on stream. Yesterday, we saw a nice move. And then today, just a few hours ago, we saw a very big move, actually like in the morning or in the early afternoon, I guess. Very, very strong move up to almost 41.5K. Pulled back, 1.5K right now. But yeah, really good stuff on Bitcoin. It's just finding some resistance around 40,900, which was resistance in July, in June, and in May. So for Bitcoin, I think really at this point, it's just kind of creating a new small range over here. So it just depends on whichever way it breaks. But yeah, I mean, for the crypto trades, they've been doing pretty well. It'll take me 1 minute to just cover them. The Dogecoin trade is currently up 7%. The Atom trade is up 28% since the entry. It's testing this resistance right now. The Chainlink trade is up about 58% since the entry a couple weeks ago. The NU trade is up about 7% since the entry, and the FIL trade is currently up maybe like 2 or 3% since the entry. So yeah, really good start for a lot of the crypto trades. If you're wondering where these trades come from, just join the Discord. The link is always in the description, or follow me on Twitter at ChampionVibe, and that's where I always share them. But yeah, right now I think we're just going to talk about the overall market. After I do that, we're going to talk about Clover and FSR, and then I'll probably just recap the swing trades, and we'll do ticker requests after that. Oh, I need to also look for lotto ideas. So it's probably going to be about like 25-30 minutes of me just talking about a bunch of different things, and then we'll do ticker requests in probably like half an hour. But yeah, we're just going to start with the overall market. Today was a very nice day for the market. Really good for a lot of the swings that I've put out. The NASDAQ was up 0.78%. The S&P was up over 0.5%. The Russell 2000 and the ARK ETF were both up about 2%. And the Dow Jones was up about almost 1%. So green day across the board. Really fun day. I mean, especially in the morning. There was a lot of good action in the morning today. The afternoon was a little bit kind of dry, but we didn't really give back gains. This week we had a couple good hours, but a lot of the times we were just kind of going flat to finish the day. Today we really held gains on a lot of stocks. It wasn't like we just popped in the morning and then all the stocks just faded in the afternoon like we got a couple other days this week. Today the gains held up pretty well, so still bullish on the market. The NASDAQ literally hit new all-time highs today, so going into tomorrow I am bullish. Futures are relatively flat for the most part, and what I mean by saying I'm bullish into tomorrow is not necessarily tomorrow is going to be a green day for the market, just the overall market for the short term. I like the action right now. We're finally seeing small caps and mid caps being revived, and if you watched, I think literally last night's stream, I talked about the ARK ETF and how that could signal a recovery for mid cap stocks. And if you have been looking at the market, mid cap and small caps had a horrible July compared to large caps, which crushed it in July. And last night on stream, I talked about this breakout. I talked about this ARK ETF breakout, which tracks a lot of mid-cap growth stocks. And we got the breakout today with confirmation. And if you watched last night's stream, you could have been prepared for this. As soon as it broke that, it looked like we were in for a good day. Somebody even messaged me saying that they made money playing calls on the ARK ETF. So now we've broken out. I think this has room up to 130 at this point. Of course, it could backtest, do whatever it wants to do, but as long as it holds above the 200 moving average, your MACD even went to green on the daily. Looking good for mid caps in the short term. So we'll see how everything does. Same thing for the Russell 2000. Very nice bounce off of this 219 level, which I was also talking about last night. So really good action today. Hopefully we can get similar action tomorrow, but you never know. I mean, I think we have job numbers. Is it job numbers? We guess Cheddar Freeze, let me know. Cheddar Freeze is in the chat. What numbers do we get tomorrow? Something important, I believe. So yeah, make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 20 likes right now. Hit that subscribe button. Other than that, for the overall market, I mean, looking at the S&P 500, it's just kind of within this little range over here. It closed just inches under all-time highs compared to the NASDAQ, which did hit all-time highs. And this classic bearish divergence really did nothing. Now we're almost close to going back to green on the MACD, so it's just about trying to hold these gains, and we'll see what happens tomorrow with the pivots. So we do have jobs numbers tomorrow. All right, perfect. Thank you. But yeah, other than that, VIX was down 4% today. The dollar relatively flat. Chinese stocks pulled back a little bit, or the Hang Seng index did at least. And then the US 10-year yield actually did bounce, and there's now pretty much like quadruple classic bullish divergence with a potential double bottom. So from a technical standpoint, I mean, the US 10-year yield does look pretty interesting at this level. We'll see if that affects things or not. But yeah, and then we also have payrolls and unemployment tomorrow. All right, cool. So we'll see how all those numbers go. I mean, tomorrow we also have DraftKings earnings, Norwegian Cruises, Ocugen, Kronos, Magna. So big day tomorrow. Today we had Fisker, we had Square, Virgin Galactic, Cloudflare, Beyond Meat, Moderna, so Viacom as well. Just a lot of big earnings, even Regeneron today. But yeah, let's talk about Clover now. If you follow me on Twitter, I put out a tweet earlier about two different data sources, or just two little things I was looking at. Maybe not little, maybe they could be really important. I guess time will tell. Let me just pull that up really quickly if I can. All right, so I tweeted this earlier today, basically saying I've discovered two interesting data points for Clover. The first point was the current historical IV, or implied volatility rank on TradeIDEX, which is a website I use quite a bit. We're going to go on that website in a little bit. Is currently under 10. Every other time it was under 10, there was a local bottom for Clover. The other point I saw was at all those local bottoms, the daily predictions on Webull were went very bullish very fast. Now on Webull, which is a trading app, they have this little feature where all the retail traders can kind of vote on whether they're bullish or bearish on stock. And you would think that that would just kind of be useless, like who cares what other people think, like it's all about how the stock moves and the news and the technicals. But looking at the data, the traders on Webull actually have been doing a really good job of identifying the trend for Clover. I haven't looked at this for other stocks. I don't know if it holds up across the board, but we're gonna take a look at it. So first of all, for what I'm talking about with the IV rank under 10, if I pull up this image, you can see you have, a chart over here with the IV rank of Clover. This can provide insights into how different is the current IV compared to the historical IV, right? So when you have options or just a stock, sometimes stocks will move very frequently up and down. Sometimes stocks will move very little. For Clover, it went from $28 to $8 pretty fast. But then once it got down to this $8 range, it's been starting to do nothing. Clover's pretty much been between $7.90 and $8.50 for I don't even know how long now, more than a few days. So now it's kind of just being very, very tight in this little consolidation range. So really the IV rank is just telling us, compared to the past, what is the volatility level? And for right now, it's very, very low for Clover. It's in a really tight range, like a 50-60 cent range for the past week or so. And really what I was doing when I was looking at this today was I noticed every single time that the IV rank came down to under 10, which is these low points over here, we had a local bottom on Clover. And I showed it on this chart over here. So we had a bottom over here around March 24th on the IV rank under 10. And then on March 30th, just a few days later, that was literally the bottom for Clover before it went to about $9.30. Happened again if we look at May 6th, right? And then we come over here. It did take a couple weeks then, but May 19th it bottomed out. Even on April 15th, you can see over here, you came pretty low to 10 and you bottomed out. And yet again today, it came literally to the lowest level possible. I guess we just had, really, really tight price action. And who knows, maybe it takes a few days, maybe it takes a few weeks. You never know. It always depends on a bunch of different things. But just looking at this chart, the last 3-4 times the IV rank did come down to this level. Clover did bounce within a week to a couple weeks. Now, alongside this, we were talking about the Webull data, where at these lows that I'm showing you on the price, traders on Webull were able to identify very well that it was time for a move to the upside. you can see why I highlighted over here, the majority of these are green compared to red, right? Over here, it was like 50-50, half the people were bullish, half the people were bearish. And then the next day, boom, it went pretty bullish, 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 bullish. And this was also right over here. If I go back up to this picture, it was around these lows before I move up to 1050. And I'm not going to spend so much time, but same thing happened over here right before the crazy move to all-time highs on Clover. For the second or the last week of May and the first week of June, look how insanely bullish the Webull sentiment was. It was like, I've never seen it that high. And this was before any crazy move. It was pretty much, we were at $8 and we went to 28 within a few days for Clover. So now we got the same, not the same thing today, but we got a really big jump today. So this was yesterday's pretty much 50-50, but today you can see it's, I don't know the exact percent, but it looks like around like 90-10 in terms of the bulls. So I was just looking at those 2 points and just to like back test this idea. Clover's been on a horrible downtrend since the all-time high at 28, and pretty much right around when it hit that all-time high up until like, I guess July, but for all of June while Clover was dumping, this was very, very red, apart from a couple days, or maybe you had a little bit of a bounce, I don't know. But yeah, these are the 2 things I'm looking at for Clover, and then obviously alongside all the things we've been talking about on the chart, which I can just go to the chart right now. But that's what I was, looking at. That's in the title of the stream. It's what I tweeted out. Just really interesting to me. We're going to see how all this plays out. It doesn't mean for sure Clover's bottomed out. You still have a float with a lot of bag holders, and there's very little volume. And that's like a major issue, because if you don't have volume and 99% of the traders, according to Webull statistics, are bag holding, or at least at a loss currently, you need a lot of demand to bring the price up, right? If everybody is currently wanting to sell, which means there's supply, or 99% of traders want to cut their losses on Webull, you're gonna need a lot of demand, and you can't really get a lot of demand when we're trading, at really, really low volume historically compared to what we were getting a couple months ago. So that's really the primary concern. Obviously next weekend there's also earnings for Clover, so that can override all of this. That can override the technicals. It can override all of this data I was just talking about. Earnings can do whatever earnings wants to do, right? That's the most important thing, the fundamentals, how the company, presents its guidance, how the expenses look, how the revenue looks. I do not believe that Clover is profitable yet. So I just think it comes down to the revenue. The user growth is also going to be important, and just a bunch of different factors. I'm not the best fundamental analyst, analyst, but obviously that's, the primary thing for the short term. But yeah, we could just go back to the Clover chart now. After about Clover, we are going to talk about the FSR earnings. I also have that pulled up over here. But yeah, I just want to talk about the Clover chart again. Before I do that, let me take a look at the chat and remind everybody to hit that like button. Let's get 30 likes right now. This is the first stream in a couple weeks that I've had 50 viewers. It's been a pretty dry last few weeks in the stream. So shout out to the 50 people in here. I don't know if anybody gave me shout outs on Twitter, but I assume people did, so appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the technicals on Clover now. Let's see if I miss anything in the chat. How are you doing? Friggin' cards. Let's see. Shadrico Suave says, this is great stuff. It's new insights I haven't seen before. Appreciate that. Try my best. I mean, I was, looking at new data as well. I don't really ever look at, the Webull sentiment. I don't usually look at the historical IV rank. So I was just looking for new stuff today, and it was really interesting to see that. Cheddar Free says, my power just went out. That sucks. I think that just happened the other day too. Then we also got Tar Heel Blue in the chat, says, good numbers in the chat, champ vibe. Smash a like, peeps. Appreciate it, Tar Heel, everything you're doing. Your stream today was amazing. You had like over 200 people in, which was insane. I was watching it. And also, this is a great time to talk about it. Me and Tar Heel Blue on Monday morning, pretty much right around the open, are going to be doing a stream together. We're just going to be talking about a bunch of different takers. We're just going to be chopping it up, maybe talk a little bit about Clover as well, look for day trades. It'll probably be a few hours long, so telling you right now, call in sick for Monday, set your calendars, and be there in the morning, watch the stream. I've never really done live trading during the day on a stream. If you're in the premium group, I do day trades in the premium group with the members, but I don't really do it while I'm streaming. So it'll be kind of like a first. I have done day streams before, but I was just kind of sitting on cash and not trading, just looking at the market. So yeah, 9 a.m. EST on Tar Heel's channel. Let me take a look at the channel name. Maybe I can actually drop it in the chat so everybody can go subscribe if you haven't already. Let's see. All right. I don't know why maybe you had like a different, let's see if I can do this correctly. All right, there we go. All right, so this is the channel. Tar Heel will be streaming. I won't be streaming it, but he will. I'm dropping it in the chat. Go subscribe to his channel. And again, like I said, Monday morning, I just dropped it in the chat. Monday morning at 9 a.m. EST, we're going to be doing live trading. So check that out. And be there for sure. Be there also. If you're not in the Discord, the link's in the description. We almost have 2,000 members in the Discord. That's where you can get my trade alerts. You can get the live stream alerts. You can get education. You can meet other traders. You can get paid bots for free. Just a bunch of things. Links in the description as always. Anybody can join it and hit that subscribe button. Also, we hit 2,700 subscribers overnight. Thank you very much for that milestone. Let's get some vibes in the chat. And yeah, back to the Clover chart. Hidden bullish divergence on the daily is still there and it's developing. It's not even developing, but growing. On the 4-hour, it still looks like you could potentially be triple bottoming at the pattern completion zone of a bullish crab harmonic pattern. And as I've been talking about on stream, some people who don't know what this pattern is might think it's just a bunch of BS. Well, we go over here on the daily, come back over here. You can see this was the same exact pattern. It was another bullish crab that formed from December of last year until literally March 5th. And on March 5th, I can pull it up as well. It hit the PCZ, which is the pattern completion zone of this pattern, and that was the all-time low. Since it hit that PCZ, it's never seen 630 again, ever. And I'm not just saying this in hindsight so I can sound smart or whatever. Like genuinely, I'll pull it up right now. Let's see, March. Right over here. So this was it. It's all time-stamped, as are all of my public trades. This was it right over here. And you can see price was around $7.30, but I put this whole entire box as the entry area. And that was the bullish crab. And it's, you know, it was a great trade. I even cut it, personally, I cut a little bit short, but eventually, I mean, technically this eventually sent it up to 28. But yeah, we have another bullish crab. It's a much smaller one and it's on the 4-hour, not the daily, but same exact pattern, just in case anybody doesn't know what harmonics are in the chat. Shout out to all the people who were here back in March and saw me, I'm not going to say call the all-time low, but try to identify around the price of the all-time low, and we were able to do it. It was a really good time. It was even when the S&P was at the bottom of this broadening wedge, which on that day as well, I said I was super bullish on the S&P to bounce. Just some historical stuff there. But again, history can repeat itself. That's why we look at technicals. We're not trying to, you know, have a magic ball and be moon boys and say, oh my gosh, this thing is going to moon tomorrow. All we're trying to do with technicals is use the past to try and get some probability and just help manage our risk and look for important levels that we can judge our trades around. Even if you're trading because of fundamentals, you can use technicals to find you the better entry areas, the better exit areas, the points of resistance and support, and all that fun stuff. That can just increase your profit margins and lower your loss margins, right? That's why I use technicals. That's really all I try to do. So yeah, for Clover, I've been saying this for a while now. I do feel like a broken record. Technicals have looked good for a while. It's just the bag holders and the low volume are a little bit of an obstacle to get above. We'll see what happens. You did break the falling wedge. At this point, the most important level, I mean, you do have the 785 support, which is your lows from, I think, July 27th. You actually bounced off that again today. So 785 is your closest support for Clover. And then after that, you got 767, which was your low on July 19th. It was your low on June 2nd. It was your high on May 14th. And it was your resistance in the beginning of April. So those are your two closer support levels. And then in terms of resistance, 850 has been the recent resistance right over here. So you can see you've topped out over here, and over here. If it gets above 850, look at this for Clover. Look at that 9. So open interest for the $9 strikes on Clover is 57,000. Okay, if you have 57,000 contracts become in the money, that could be pretty insane, especially if you get some nice volume alongside that on the actual stock. So I hope I don't sound like a broken record. I wouldn't be talking about Clover every single night if I didn't believe in it personally. Doesn't mean it's going to go up for sure. I can be completely wrong. You know, there's no certainty in trading. I'm just trying my best with the tools I have, with the knowledge I have, and time will tell how this all plays out. So I think that's pretty much it for Clover tonight. Yeah, we'll see what this all turns into. Make sure to check out Tar Heel Blue again. He's been covering everything day in and day out, not just from a technical standpoint, but like all the fundamentals and catalysts and the short interest and the failures to deliver and all the stuff that's pretty, let's just call it interesting, that's happening behind the scenes with Clover, the dark pools and everything. We'll see how it all turns out, you know. But yeah, you know, that's really it for Clover. I do personally have a position in it. That's just some honesty right there, but that's really it. You know, we'll see what happens. And yeah, make sure to hit that like button. Let's get to 40 likes right now. If you're not subscribed, like right there, thank you Narwhal Music for the subscription. If you're not subscribed, help us get to 3,000 subscribers. All you gotta do is click a button and you're gonna get market analysis, stocks analysis, crypto analysis every single night. Now I'm gonna talk about FSR and the earnings on FSR today. After I do that, I'm going to look for lotto ideas for tomorrow. So lotto options are basically same day expiration options. They're extremely risky, especially if you're playing them out of the money. You can lose all of your money within minutes. So it's probably the closest thing to gambling in trading. But we're gonna attempt it. Last week I did share some lotto ideas. And I could probably pull it up right now. Let's see. So right over here, this was last week. Shared some lotto ideas, and I shared them like a couple minutes after the open. I was watching them in the pre-market. And it was 4 for 4 last Friday. Tilray calls went up 30% within an hour. Tesla calls eventually went up 400% within a few hours. AMC calls pretty much doubled within an hour. And then FUTU calls also went up about 36% in an hour. So I was 4 for 4 on my first Lotto Friday last week. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but we are going to look for some new Lotto ideas after I cover FSR. But yeah, FSR, as everybody in the chat probably knows, my favorite stock for the long term. Probably one of my most successful tickers to trade as well, even in the short term. And yeah, they had earnings today. We're going to talk about everything. Let me just take a look at the chat if I missed anything. Christopher said, best harmonic resource, question mark. On my channel, there is a full playlist. I have a full free course on my channel. Just go to playlists on my channel. It's like a 12 or 13 video course. It literally covers everything that I could think of. Actually, I want to make one more video for it, which I'm going to make in a few weeks, but there's a lot in that course. Fibonacci, patterns, support and resistance, harmonics, options, trading psychology. All of it's in the free course on my channel. Anybody can view it whenever you want. Just go to playlists under my channel. Hopefully that answers your question. Thomas says, first time on the stream, but digging it. Thanks for sharing everything. Appreciate that, Thomas. Glad to hear that. What else we got here? Scrooge is in the chat. What's up? Tar Heel says, dude, he's so good. Champion vibes, final stock for today. Appreciate that. I try my best. You know, I'm not the master at this, but I definitely, you know, I put in a lot of work, and there's always more work to put in. There's always improvement you can make. So I just try my best every day to learn more and share what I am learning and what I have learned. Chi says, how do you look for lottos to play? You're going to find out in about 10-15 minutes. I'm going to be looking for them with all of you on the stream going into tomorrow. Sunny, I can confirm that my favorite stock is not Solo. It might be my least favorite stock. Dan says, wish I caught this from the beginning. I'm going to be watching this from the top later. Dan, well, we actually, after every single stream, we do timestamps. I don't know if Mehdi is in the chat right now, but Mehdi is a member of the free trading movement. If you're not in the free trading movement, the Discord link's in the description. Mehdi does timestamps on every single stream. Every single taker I look at, every single conversation I have, he timestamps it. And after the stream is over, they immediately go up and it'll be in the pinned comment of the stream. It'll also be in the scroll bar. Basically, while you scroll through the stream, it'll show you like the chapters of the video. So yeah, everything will be replayed after the stream with timestamps, and I'll tweet it out when those go live. My Twitter is @ChampionVibe. Scrooge always in the chat for sure. Champion Vibes T says, Champ went to Miami and forgot all about me. Yeah, I haven't been having tea on stream. I'll probably have it when I leave Miami. And yeah, let's talk about the FSR earnings now. So We do have an ongoing swing trade for Fisker. It's literally right at the entry right now. It was down yesterday, but Fisker was up 5% today, so it came back to the entry. Hidden bullish divergence is still developing for Fisker. It now could be potentially double bottoming off of this 1455 level, which we talked about last night. That was the major support back in January, December. And if anybody was here back then, we had an amazing trade off of that same exact level. I think it was like a 40% gain in a few weeks. And we came back to that level now. You know, months later, we came back to that same level. Now we could potentially be double bottoming off of it. Really good day today. As long as we hold above 1455, I like Fisker from a technical standpoint. And then let's look at the earnings over here. Nothing that really surprised me, if I'm being honest about Fisker today. For the most part, I was actually happy to see that their cash is still around 960 million. From what I remember, it was that in the first quarter, like right around that. I thought it was like right under 1 billion in the first quarter, and it's still right under 1 billion with a zero debt. Now, for a company that is not only pre-profit, but pre-revenue, having a lot of cash on hand is very important. I mean, the first time around for Fisker, when it was private a decade ago, you know, they failed from a financial standpoint. But now you can see that they're being very, very, you know, smart about keeping their books clean and saving up the money as they need it. I mean, even for production, they don't have crazy expenses like all these other EVs making huge factories. They're outsourcing everything. So yeah, you know, they had a 50 million loss from operations. I don't exactly know what all that was for. A little bit of compensation there as well. 16% loss per share, nothing too crazy. Again, it's a pre-revenue, pre-profit company. And, you know, for the business outlook, looks like they're around the same expectation. They said we are now projecting the total of these items being with the range of 490 to 530 million compared to our prior 450 to 510. So a little bit changed there on the outlook. Nothing too crazy though. From like the easiest way to look at this earnings, it's like they're just kind of reaffirming everything they've said. I'm really happy that Fisker doubled down on the fact that they're still planning for the production and the cars on the road by the end of 2022 to the beginning of 2023. He was on CNBC. I think he did a good job. And yeah, the only one thing he said in the CNBC interview that was a little bit interesting to me was he wants to keep the tax incentives for EVs under $50,000 for cars under $50,000. Now, that would be good for the Fisker Ocean starter, or like the base level Fisker Ocean, which is 37.5K. But the upper version of the Fisker Ocean, as far as I know, is around like $60,000 to $70,000. So that would kind of cut that car away from that. So I don't know why he exactly said that. Maybe it's just his, you know, genuine opinion on things, and how he wants the EV sector to grow. And they even have the Project Pair, which is I think going to be around like a little bit under 30,000 maybe for the starting price, but that's not dropping for a few years. So yeah, really okay. I'm going to say really okay earnings, which is good for a company that's not profitable yet, and that's not really making revenue apart from, I guess, merchandise. I don't know if they shared the revenue. Where's the balance sheet? Revenue, this is what, in amounts in thousands. Revenue was 27,000. Cost of goods, so that was, I believe, from merch. But I don't think I thought they do a lot more. Maybe I'm looking at that incorrectly. But if it is in thousands, they did 27,000 merch. I did buy the merch, so I guess I helped out with that a little bit, if I'm reading that correctly. But again, you know, the car's not on the road yet. Patience on this one. I have 2 different fundamental videos on Fisker on my channel. You can always go back and watch them. And yeah, Fisker, we'll see what happens in the coming days. But I think really for all the earnings leading up until they have cars on the road, it's all just about surviving the earnings, you know, sticking to their goals and just being patient. That's all I really want from Fisker. Yeah, still very proud of what they're doing. We'll see what all this turns into in a few years. And Fisker Ocean will be my first car. Let me take a look at the chat. Now, should we look for lotto ideas right now? I think we should do that, and then we'll do the ongoing trades after. So yeah, we're gonna look for lotto ideas for tomorrow right now. Give me a second here. Let me just take a look at the chat first. So we need a couple more likes to get 40 likes. So hit that like button if you didn't already. Also, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button so you can get chart analysis every single night. If you're not on the Discord, links in the description. If you're not subscribed, I think I already said that. Never mind. Let me take a look at the chat for a little bit here. Cash does look good. Agree with that. Cheddar Freeze. Cheddar Freeze says they aren't spending on marketing until November. I think that's completely. I honestly think they could push it further. I don't know if they're talking about November of this year or next year, but you know, why waste money on marketing right now when you still have over a year until the car is going to be on the road? So, you know, you definitely just save the marketing capital until you really need it, when you want people to be buying the product for sure. But maybe a little bit of brand awareness would be good, you know, especially a few months before the car is on the road. But the reservations are already at a really good number, in my opinion, for the car still being more than a year away from production and / on the road. We're not going to be doing take requests just yet. We're going to be doing take requests in about 20 minutes. Still got to do scanning for lotto ideas for tomorrow, and then I also have to recap the ongoing trades. So that was Henrik's point on marketing. Great. And yeah, so let's look for some lotto ideas for tomorrow. Before I even get into all of this, just a quick explanation. Tomorrow, a few minutes after the market opens, most likely, it's not for sure. If the market looks horrible tomorrow morning, I might not put out anything. But if everything kind of looks decent in the morning and in pre-market, I plan on, you know, a few minutes after the open sharing some option ideas on Twitter and in the Discord for lottos. I did the same thing for the first time last Friday, went 4 for 4. So I'm going to share some lotto ideas for people who are not options traders and do not know anything about options. I'm telling you right now, don't take them, okay? Do not. It's not worth it. You can always make money elsewhere. The lottos should never be your entry into options, okay? Not financial advice, but we'll see how it goes if you try to do it without any education. So please, for people who know what they're doing only, also remember lottos are the closest thing to gambling in trading. You know, your thesis could be correct, but your timing can be a couple hours off and you can lose all the money, especially if you're out of the money. The market can go the wrong way, which there's no way you can kind of anticipate. Like, there's just so many factors that really make it a little bit tough to do lottos unless you're really monitoring them well and your position sizing and managing your risk and all of that. So before I get into all the scanning, high risk, high reward. That's what lottos are. Okay, don't take it as anything over that. It's not my typical types of trades. Just trying to have a little bit of fun. And if anything, you could just watch from the sidelines, see how they do. But don't get mad if every single lotto idea I share tomorrow fails, because that's pretty easy. Okay, if I share 4 call ideas tomorrow and the market decides to drop 0.5% because we have bad job numbers, well, then that's what happens. You know, there's just so many factors you cannot really attribute or account for with lottos that you have to be prepared for the worst. All right, only risk money you're willing to risk. That's all I'm going to say. Just want to be as cautious about it before we even get into it, because I'm all about education and teaching risk management, and this is kind of the opposite. Again, it's just for fun. It's just a once a week thing. We'll see how it goes. That's it. All right, that's it. Okay, now with that being said, I'm on the 15-minute time frame because, again, these will be day trades. They're same day expirations, so I don't really have any need to go over the 1 hour time frame. So I already put a 10-15 tickers on my watch list off the top of my head, and I just looked at some volume scanners, and we're going to look at a few of these. We're going to see if we see any things that look pretty interesting going into tomorrow. Of course, I need to see how they look in pre-market. I also need to see how the market looks in pre-market before I even look for contracts. But for right now, all I'm doing is looking at 15, 30-minute, 1 hour charts to see things that have either potential for the upside or the downside tomorrow with the okay probability. And then in the morning, I'm going to look for the more specific contracts because it depends on what prices they're at in pre-market. But especially with autos, you have to be very, very picky on your strike price as it's the same day expiration. So I'm not really looking for contracts until the morning, but I will be looking just for charts. So when I wake up in the morning, I can just go straight to my options page and just look for the options that make the most sense compared to the price. With all that being said, let me just quickly look through these. So basically what I'm looking for, all of these pretty much had pretty good volume today, and they are on my scanners, so at least that means they could have some okay movement tomorrow. First one is Zoom, and I'm just looking for either bullish or bearish technicals on all these charts. So for Zoom, you got some 15-minute hidden bullish divergence. And you have this level right over here, 396 on Zoom. You can see that this 396 level on Zoom was your highs on the 29th of July, and it was your support today twice. You kind of double bottomed off of this level. So maybe if Zoom comes back down to this 396 level in pre-market, it could be a potential call play for Lottos, and then you could pretty easily tell where you want to kind of cut, because if it breaks that level, then you could just cut. Not financial advice. So Zoom, I'm definitely keeping on my watch list. Let's see if there's anything on the other time frames. Not much on the 30-minute, and on the 1 hour, it actually is breaking out of a cup and handle. So yeah, gonna be watching Zoom for tomorrow. I think it has room up to around 405 if it does decide to have a green day, but we'll see. So Zoom is number one. I already looked at that one before stream, to be honest. The other ones I have not looked at. So I just threw these on my watch list, and now I'm going to be blindly scanning and looking through the charts to see if we can find some Lotto ideas for tomorrow. First up is Space. It's not really looking that interesting to me. It looks very, very neutral. You know, it's making lower highs, but also higher lows. It's just pretty neutral, and if we're playing Lottos, you do not want neutral. You either want pretty bullish or pretty bearish for calls or for puts. So I'm just going to skip that chart. Going into tomorrow. Now we got Plug. I don't know. 15 minutes kind of weird looking. 30-minute. Is that any bearish divergence? Kind of, but no. That's just not a clear chart. I'm looking for something that's clear. I'll let you know if I find something that's clear. BYND on the daily is really interesting because it's at this 120 level, which you can see was a major support last July. And it was even support June of 2019. And it even bounced off of it yesterday and today. It even had a bullish pin bar today. And there's hidden bullish divergence on the daily. So even as a swing, BYND looks pretty interesting at this level. But again, we're looking for Lottos right now. The easiest way you could look at this is if Zoom breaks the, if BYND breaks the support tomorrow, then it could be a potential put play for Lottos. But as long as it stays above it, maybe you could play calls, but I don't really see much of a setup on the 15 minutes. So what I'd probably do in the morning is I'd probably just set an alert right under the support, and if it drops under it, then I'll just look for puts on it. There are downside gaps to fill. It also depends on the volume. But you do have the daily, which looks interesting. So I'm going to keep BYND on my watches for the morning as a potential put play. Even though the chart looks bullish on the daily, it could be a potential Lotto put if it breaks the support, right? Maybe even for like a fake out, right? And with the Lottos, you know, the whole entire idea is to get in, get out, get your profits, get out, okay? Again, they're Lottos. Next up is ZYNGA. I haven't looked at this chart in forever. Actually, on the 30-minute, ZYNGA looks really interesting for the morning. Potential double bottom over here. And then also classic bullish divergence on the MACD and on the RSI. So I'll be looking at ZYNGA tomorrow morning for potential calls for Lottos. Next up is PENN. Moved on some news today about some sort of an acquisition, I believe. And today, if you look at this, major bullish engulfing candle on the daily. So you engulfed like the last 4 days worth of price action in one candle with high volume. Let's see if we can get some more confirmation on lower time frames, because again, that's what we're going to be trading tomorrow. It's really like this level for PENN tomorrow. This level, this 72 or yeah, like $72, $73. This is even kind of a right angled, oh my gosh, wow. Okay, so you kind of have a right angled descending broadening wedge, which is a bullish pattern. So if PENN breaks above, really if it gets above 73.50, it could have room to 75 intraday. So I will be looking at PENN for calls. So just to recap so far, I'll be looking at Zoom for calls, BYND for puts, ZYNGA for calls, PENN for calls so far in the morning. But again, I need more confirmation when I look at pre-market. They're not solidified ideas just yet. Next up on my scanning list is Zillow. Pretty unclear to me on the 30-minute and the 1 hour. So I'm just going to skip that chart. Again, you don't want to have to, how do I put this? You don't want to have to sacrifice, right? There's thousands of tickers you can trade. So you got to look for the ones that look the clearest to you. If something looks 50-50, you just move on. You know, there's no need to force any trades. AMC is also on my list. Maybe a little bit of a harmonic. We'll see. I don't think it got deep enough. Actually, no. What else we got here on AMC? Broke a little bit of a wedge. Descending broadening wedge broke out of it, so that's good. Not much divergence on the 1 hour. But there is classic bullish divergence playing around the 30-minute. What I would like to see is hidden bullish divergence on lower time frames, which you do not have yet. And it looks like to me the important level for AMC tomorrow morning is 3280. It was your support on July 19th. It was your support on August 3rd. Even back tested it today. Look, you broke above that level, and then on this red candle, you try to back test, and you actually successfully did. So I'll look at this in the morning again. Maybe a potential call idea. I'll keep it on the watch list. Apple is up next. I'll be done with this in like probably 5, 6, 7 minutes. I only got about 5 more tickers to look at, and then we're going to recap the ongoing trades. I'll give some updates on those swings, and after that, I'm gonna do tick requests. But yeah, 6 more likes, hit 50 likes, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, we just hit 2,700 subs. Subscribe to the stream if you're enjoying the chart breakdowns, looking for the lotto ideas for tomorrow. And join the Discord. The link's in the description. If you're not in the Discord, you're missing out. Okay, that's the easiest way to put it. Let me just take a look at the chat because I haven't looked at it in a second here. Neutron Flux Lab says, please, please, please do not take an option if you don't know what you're doing. Exactly. Yeah, you could always paper trade it if you're trying to learn. Do not try to learn with real money. You know, I was actually watching the Zach Morris PGIR podcast, and that's exactly what he said. He was saying, you know, if you're trying to learn paper trading, why would you? I think he said something along the lines of like, if you're trying to learn a style of trading or a method of trading, and you're trading with real money, by the time you learn the method and you get good at that method, you're not going to have any real money left because you'd probably lose it learning it. So you might as well practice your method with paper, and then when you're actually kind of finding success with it, that's when you put the real money on the table, right? Yeah, Zoom has been a monster this week. DF says, is there a specific candle patterns when deciding if a stock has created a double bottom to be considered a double bottom? Not necessarily a candle pattern, just a structure, right? So for an example, like this, right? You have a clear low on price and then another clear similar low on price. And in between those lows, you had kind of curves, right? So like this, you had a curve, and then again, you had a curve, right? So it's kind of just like two U-shaped movements in a row, right? They could also be V-shaped. You have Adam and Eve double bottoms as well, apart from regular double bottoms. But yeah, you're just looking for 2 curved bottoms or even linear bottoms, but just 2 semi-parallel lows on price. And you know, you could have higher low double bottoms, lower low double bottoms, exact low double bottoms, Adam and Eve double bottoms. Yeah, all those things that Chatterfreeze is bringing up in the chat. Apple looks extremely 50-50 to me. I think Apple might just trade with the market tomorrow as it represents most of the indices or the large cap indices. I might look at it again in the morning, but for right now it's just 50-50. Roku got crushed on earnings. I like it above 400 though. If we zoom out on the daily, this 400 level was your high on April 14th. It was your lows on July 15th and 16th, and you broke back above it today. And tomorrow you have a gap fill, right? It gapped down on earnings today or after the earnings from last night. And tomorrow there's the gap fill. I mean, I don't know if it's going to have enough steam to fill the gap tomorrow, even if it is a green day for the market and for Roku as well. But you certainly could argue that there is classic bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame that's nearly confirmed for Roku. Look at it like that. You were just oversold as well in the 1 hour RSI. Anything else though? What else do we have here? It's above the VWAP. A lot of room. If it gets above this middle Bollinger Band, there's not a lot of supply above that intraday. A lot of ribbons. And then a little bit of supply there. So if we kind of throw everything onto the chart like this, we do kind of have some supply obviously in between the gaps. So it depends on really the volume at that point. I mean, you had a really good volume for the final half an hour of the day, or volume bar for the final half an hour of the day for Roku. If Roku has a high volume pre-market, you know, relative to the average, and it holds above 400, maybe even back test 400, I could look at it as a potential call play for tomorrow. Remember, all of these tickers just depend on the overall market, right? Every single one of these ideas can just, you know, play out with the overall market, right? You know, if I'm looking for calls and the market's having a really red open, probably all those calls are going to fail. So you also have to be very, very aware of what the market looks like in the morning, which is why I need to wait for the morning for more confirmation. I'm just looking for rough ideas right now, you know, if the market looks good and so forth. Let's keep it going. I'll recap everything once I finish. I only have 4 more tickers and we're gonna do some other stuff. Uber, I don't like the 30-minute MACD, but the 15-minute is really interesting. You got some hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. Maybe a little bit of like maybe just a little bit of a wedge breakout into the close. Now this 43 level was your low from May 12th, 43.20. If Uber can get above 43.20 tomorrow around the open and hold above it, it could have room. Again, depends on the volume, but maybe you could at least retest today's highs around 44.65. So another one I'll be looking at for potentially calls. Only 3 more to go. Next up is Lucid. Let's see here. Kind of, it's finding support at the 886 retrace after a bullish bat. 1 hour classic bullish divergence. Maybe calls above 23 on Lucid tomorrow. From this candle low, from these candle lows, it kind of broke under it, now it's being choppy. Maybe if it gets above 23 in the pre-market, it could have room back up to like this resistance at 24.20. So another one, it just depends on the pre-market as well. Tesla, I already know what I'm thinking about for Tesla, which is this, okay? A little bit, I mean, you could chart this a couple different ways, but a little bit of just like a little bullish pennant potentially. You know, it's after an uptrend, so it could be classified as a bullish pennant. Doesn't mean it's going to break to the upside for sure. It just has a slightly increased probability of doing so. But Tesla as well. I mean, that was a huge winner last week on the Lotto calls, 400% profit in a few hours. So I will be watching Tesla for sure. I think it's all just about holding 712 for Tesla tomorrow morning. Other than that, that's really the only idea for Tesla. Just hopefully this can break to the upside and then maybe you could see a crazy move again. I mean, last Friday was good. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And then finally, I already know my idea for this one, Trivago. I mean, I've been looking at this as a potential swing. It hit the PCZ of a bullish butterfly with the descending broadening wedge. So this has been on my watch list as a swing. Premium members, I shared this with you in the watch list channel. But tomorrow, if this can break above the 200-day moving average, which has been using as resistance for every single day of the week, if it gets above the 200-day moving average at around $3.04, I think it could have room up to like, let's see, let me zoom out or look like this. If it gets above like 305, I mean, it might have room to like 324 from these lows. So Trivago, yet another one. So most of the ideas from just like the scanning for Lottos tomorrow look like potential calls. So hopefully we have a good pre-market for, you know, the NASDAQ and the QQQ and the S&P and the Russell. If not, that could kind of ruin most of these ideas. The only one that I'm kind of looking at as a potential put play would be BYND breaking under support. But again, this is a steel wall of support, so you don't even know if it breaks under it tomorrow. It could actually have a huge bounce off of it. So like, I would only even look at BYND for puts if it actually closed like a 15 or a 30-minute candle under in the pre-market. And yeah, so those are the rough ideas. Again, Lottos are the closest thing to gambling, not financial advice. Don't risk money you're not willing to risk, and wait for confirmation. So we'll see how all these things look in the morning, and if things check out a few minutes after the open, I should be sharing some Lotto ideas on my Twitter and in the Discord. So follow me at Champion Vibe or join the Discord in the links in the description. Yeah. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I've just been studying charts for about 2 years now, and I'm just, you know, trying my best to see potential supply and demand at the end of the day. So that's pretty much the scanning for Lottos. Hopefully, again, even if all those Lotto ideas tomorrow morning when I share them, even if all of them fail, hopefully you at least got some education in terms of technicals and probabilities and stuff like that. Because again, depends on the overall market. At the end of the day, they're same-day expirations, anything is possible. What else? Brent says I look for volume and engulfing candle spot reversals. Both of those are good signals. Rips Runners T says Uber looked good on long call calculator. What did I say about Uber again? me go back to the 15. Oh yeah, this wedge with the hidden bullish divergence. Yeah. We'll see what happens in the pre-market. Sonny says, I've enjoyed the scanning. You did. Thank you, King. Glad to hear that. 2 more likes at 50 likes right now. So here's what's going to happen now. I'm just going to recap all the ongoing swing trades. If you're new to the stream, I put out swing ideas. And I'm just going to give some updates on them as of today. There's about, I think, 8 swing ideas I need to give updates on just to cover them. And then after that, we're going to do ticker requests. So yeah, let me just get to these first. I already covered FSR earlier, so we don't need to do that. First off, we're going to cover RES. Had a nice bounce today, but then sold off into the close. I really want to see RES get back above 394. That's a really important level to me here. Currently, this trade is down about 3% since the entry. I want to see it close above 394 soon. That's what I'm looking for on the daily, and then eventually classic bullish divergence is still possible. Next up, X had a flat day. I've been, for X, it's a 3-year cup and handle. I've been saying this every night on stream this week. I'm not concerned about the short-term ups and downs, 1%, 2%, 3%. I'm waiting for the bigger moves. This one's about patience. It could obviously not work out. It could hit the stop at 22.98, but I'm just waiting until we see like a 5% move in either direction to really give any updates on it. Because for right now, it's kind of pointless to really do much of an update. BlackBerry had a huge day today. It was up 6% at the close. Hidden bullish divergence is confirmed again after a very weird day yesterday. Very nice candle today. It's looking good. Again, this chart has so many different factors on it. It's just been kind of weird because the overall sector for meme stocks, the mid caps and retail stocks has just been horrible, really in all of July and kind of the first few days of this week. So today was a good day for those types of stocks for the most part. AMC was up nicely, Clover was up, BlackBerry was up. I don't even know if GameStop was up, but it probably was. It was up 5%. So nice bounce back today for BlackBerry. I mean, we're looking at the larger picture here. Bullish bat, down sloping channel, hidden bullish divergence on BlackBerry. But even if we zoom in over here, you can see it broke out of this another type of, mini wedge or channel broke out of that as well today. So technicals still look good on BlackBerry. Hopefully it can just start, showing some more profit. And at the end of the day, it's all about holding $9.60. Wish is up next. This trade is up, I think, like 2 or 3%. It's only up 2% since the entry. Nice job closing back above $9.70. I really like that level to be held. So it still has potential. I mean, I wish it would have been a textbook double bottom and it just would have sent it over here. It kind of pulled back again. But not a bad bounce. At the end of the day, it's still above this 970 level. Just want to hold above that tomorrow. Hidden bullish divergence is still there for Wish, and earnings are on the 12th according to TradingView, so that'll be very telling. QS is down. This one's actually the worst performing trade right now. This one's down about 8.5% since the entry. Doji candle today, so a little bit of indecision from buyers and sellers. Pretty much 2 doji candles in a row almost. But it is starting to slightly curl off of this zone that it bounced off of at the end of July twice. So you just want to hold above this low $21 area for QS. And then finally, the final swing trade update. DOC it came right back down to the bottom of the channel, and then it bounced off of it yet again. So it's a very, very well-respected upsloping channel. This stock is like literally a snail. It barely moves, but at least it did, see the demand line and bounce off of it, even though it was only 1%. But yeah, that's pretty much the recap for all the swings. We already talked about the crypto ideas earlier, like literally at the start of the stream. So there's some reminders. Everything I've talked about in the stream will be timestamped, and after the stream is over, I will tweet out the timestamps when they're up, and I also will ping the Discord. So yeah, really good stream tonight so far. Thank you to everybody supporting the stream, whether you're shouting it out on social media, whether you're just watching, whether you're in the Discord, whatever it is. Appreciate everybody supporting what I'm doing. Means a lot. And yeah, that's pretty much the recap. I mean, when's the last, usually my daily recaps take about 20 minutes. Today it took me almost an hour. So yeah, I said in the beginning of the stream, we're in for a packed stream, and it has been packed for sure. This is also the final stream of the week. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. EST to pretty much 10 p.m. EST. I'm gonna do a little bit of a longer stream tonight. So yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We still got 40 people in here, which is awesome. Join the Discord, links in the description. Thank you again for the 2,700 subs. Let me see how many Discord members we're at. All right, we need 3 more Discord members to hit 1,900 members. And at 2,000 members, I haven't really talked about this yet. The mods know, but at 2,000 members, I will be doing some sort of giveaway in the Discord. I'm not exactly sure what the giveaway will be for right now, but there will be something at 2,000. So Discord link is in the description. Mods, if you can just drop the link really quickly, that would be appreciated. And yeah, join the Discord. That's where you can get trade alerts, live stream alerts, crypto alerts, alerts from the other analysts in the Discord. That's where you can meet up 2,000 other traders almost. Educational resources, paid bots, but you get them for free. And cool music as well. Cheddar Freeze runs the music channel. And yeah, that's pretty much the recap. Mehdi says, thanks for the option scanning. You got it. Thank you everybody for the 50 likes, by the way. I like the 9-day EMA for short-term reversals as well, Brentley. And yeah, we can just take a request for the rest of the stream. Thank you, Cheddar Freeze, for dropping the Discord link. Everybody hit that Discord link if you're not on the Discord already and join up right now. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to look at takers for the rest of the stream. So I'm not going to probably be able to get to all of them because I've already been streaming for like an hour, but I'm going to try and get to as many as possible. Here are some general rules of thumb. Do not request anything that was up over 30% today. I don't like chasing stocks. I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's just not my style, and I only like teaching my style. Why would I teach somebody else's style? So don't request anything that was up over 30% today. Also, do not request anything that IPO'd within the last month. Surprisingly, I actually need data on a chart to analyze a chart. So if it IPO'd within the last month, there's not going to be enough data. So those are the 2 rules. And then also remember, nothing I say is financial advice. Technicals are not certainty, they're just probability, and they can fail. The overall market, is always the biggest factor when it comes down to everything. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get to as many as I can. If I cut off, halfway there, I'm sorry to everybody who still dropped takers in the chat. I'm gonna just do it until I get too tired to do more. All right, that's all I can guarantee. So I can't guarantee I'm gonna look at all of them, but I'm gonna look at as many as I can. So let's see. So you want me to look at Netflix as a lotto and ZNGA as a lotto? We'll take a look at them as lottos. Shout out Dan for joining the Discord. All right, so we're gonna take a look at all these stickers for the chat. We just had 2 new members join Premium during the stream, so shout out to those members. I don't really like talking about Premium on the stream, but whoever you were, thank you for joining Premium. All I'm gonna say is links in the description, but that's it. If you ever have any questions, just DM me on Twitter at ChampionVibe. I don't like bringing it into the stream. I don't like being like promoting it all the time and stuff. It's there if you want it. Links in the description. Netflix as a lotto tomorrow. You do have hidden bullish divergence on the daily, but let's look at lower time frames. Nice volume into the close for Netflix. It also broke above this mini resistance over here at 525. It's actually right at 525. It was even your support on June 28th or your lows. So like if we kind of zoom out over here, let me go to a little bit of a higher time frame. We just kind of look at it like this, right? This is like your zone, right? So if Netflix can break above really 525.5, then it might have room to like 529 after that from these lows over here as a lotto. But if it can't do it, then there could be, downside all the way to the 200-day moving average. But obviously it depends on how active the market is tomorrow. Sometimes we do get like very slow Fridays, especially, it's not a long weekend this weekend, but especially like if we're going into a long weekend for the market. So we'll see. It depends on the overall volume as well for the market. And then you also want me to look at J&J as a lotto idea. You do have hidden bullish divergence on the 30-minute chart. I'm not going to really spend time drawing it out, but it's there. Kind of like no, not really a harmonic, I guess, because that's too perfect of a top. I'm not too sure. You know, it's been running alongside Moderna and Pfizer. It did just break out of this pattern on the daily. I'm really 50-50 on this as a lotto idea for tomorrow. I could see it to either direction. I think it just depends on what the momentum looks like around the open. Like if I could do more there, you know I would. I'm just being straightforward. That's really not too clear to me right now, and I don't want to BS or make up stuff. FUTU, been looking at this one recently. Triple classic bullish divergence on the daily, hit the PCZ with bullish shark. If this can just get above the 200-day moving average, it's in a really wide range. I mean, if this continues to go range bound, the top of the range is 67% away. So if it did the same thing it did in May and in March and in January, there could be 68% upside just to the next major resistance. There's even a gap fill over here at 134, 135. However, it still is under the 200-day moving average, so it needs to break that, and it needs to hold 99, which is the bottom of the range. If it breaks this range to the downside, there's not much left until like $51, right? The last time you broke 51, you went straight up to 100. So if you break back under 100 with confirmation, you're kind of entering a very scary zone that you have not seen since January, pretty much the whole entire year. So you want to hold $99 for dear life on FUTU. Visa is next. It looks like it broke a demand line. Could be back testing it now. I do like how it got back above 238. We were looking at this recently. So I do like that it got back above that level. Now that it's above it, that's your support. So you just want to hold 238 now. You really don't have much resistance until all-time highs, apart from this previous demand line, which would now be your supply line. Hidden bullish divergence is possible on the daily. It's not really confirmed for right now. Just want to hold 238 there. Bumble is next. Not a lot of data on this chart. 46 looks like the support to me, and then 57 looks like the resistance. I don't see much of a pattern or any divergence. Citigroup is next. Got some classic bullish divergence on the daily currently playing out. Next resistance is 72. And then your support is around $68. I don't really see much of a pattern. Maybe something like this. Like that. And then it could be breaking. It could have literally broken out today. Other than that, though, it's kind of in between support and resistance to me. You know, 68 is your support, 72 resistance. We'll see which way it goes. Your power is still cutting out. Is there like a storm shadow freeze? GSAT is up next. This could be pretty interesting. Take a look. Hidden bullish divergence on the daily is developing, as you can see right over there. And it could be a bullish bat. Let's see if it checks out. Nope, too deep on the B point. So it's a mix of a bat and a Gartley. You hit the Gartley B point, but you hit the bat PCZ. And that's where you decide to bounce. So unconventional harmonic there. If you do look at it like this, you just broke out to the downside of like a upsloping channel, but it's not really dumping or anything. So I don't know if that matters too much. You do have hidden bullish divergence. I would say your support is $1.16 from this low, and this low over here. Bullish engulfing candle today. In terms of resistance, $1.57 from this candle high over here and this candle high over here. So you are in between support and resistance on the daily time frame. Maybe you could look at it like this as well. We're in a little bit of a downsloping channel, and then we'll see if it can break to the upside. BNGO currently testing 200-day moving average. Had a bullish engulfing candle today. It bullishly engulfed like 4 different candles in one day. And it closed above 200-day moving average in a descending channel / wedge, hidden bullish divergence on the daily. This looks really good to me above 556. I think your next stop could be the mid $7 range as long as you continue to hold above 556. That's really it. That was even your low from like September 25th, 2018 and March 5th of this year when the S&P was at the bottom of the wedge. UWMC, I've been watching this one for a while. You know, it broke out of a downsloping channel. It has hidden bullish divergence on the daily, but the volume is just horrible. There's just no volume on UWMC for right now. So it's just a matter of whenever the volume comes in. I think the next big move on volume would probably be telling, but I don't know, maybe it needs a catalyst to get going to either direction. But for right now, it's kind of just like doing nothing. So I would personally would just kind of wait to see when volume starts, you know, increasing again, because it's really been dry ever since the end of June, honestly. But you know, from a technical standpoint, anything above 720 does look fine to me. That was your low from over here, and even recently on July 19th. So 720, you just got to hold above that. IDEX is at support. It's all about just holding 223. You got pretty close to testing it. You're just kind of in a range. Your support's 223. Your resistance is like the 260-ish area. Maybe a little bit of hidden bullish divergence on the daily. It's not really done anything, but earnings will probably tell the tale for this one, which are on the 16th according to TradingView. Upstart. Now it really looks like it's starting to reclaim this demand line. It says earnings are on the 10th, so that'll override all the technicals. But from a technical standpoint, all you want to do, you keep getting above it but closing under it. You just want to close above 135 on Upstart. That was your kind of triple wick high from the end of June to the mid-June, or mid-June to the end of June. You just want to see it start closing above it. That could be a breakout that could send it to 165. It's just still having trouble clearing it, and you definitely want to hold 106. It was your high over here, your low over here, and your low over here. 106 is your biggest support. CLF is next. Let's look at it like this. It's within an upsloping channel. It had a little bit of a fake out. This was a premium swing trade, and the fake out did stop out the idea. But had the fake out when the market was having a horrible time, and it just rallied back into the channel. It reclaimed it, so now it's just in an upsloping channel. As long as you hold above this demand line, it looks good to me. You know, I don't know how all the infrastructure stuff is going, but that's probably important for this name. On the weekly, your next major resistance is $27. You do have a little bit of bearish divergence on the weekly, but that could take a while to play out. You just want to stay in the channel. LEDS is next. Hidden bullish divergence on the daily. It pretty much came down to like the 83% retrace, which is a little bit shallow for a bullish bat, but that's just where it's deciding to go sideways. So you never know. Maybe it does just eventually bounce off this. You do have hidden bullish divergence on the daily for LEDS. So it's just, at this point, you just want to hold this this like low, or no, this high $7 range as your support. Otherwise, you can come down to $6.70, which honestly, I'm not saying it gets there, but I would like it even more if it got there, because then you'd have a historical area on the chart. You would have the 200-day moving average and a bullish bat PCZ, but still, it could reverse wherever it wants to. I would just like the MACD to stay green as well. CMPS is just within a range right now. This is your range. I think whichever way it breaks will be telling. If it breaks to the downside, then your last line of support is like $30. If it breaks eventually to the upside, there's room up to like 44 and then even 60. It's not too much of major levels on the chart, just kind of three different levels, which is 30, 45, and 60. So kind of like every 15 bucks, I guess there's a level. That's really all it's done since the IPO last October, I guess. So it's just range bound for right now. CGC is next. 1852 is your important level. It was resistance in last summer, support in 2019 December, and now it's attempting to use that support again. Bullish engulfing candle today. I don't know when earnings are. TradingView is saying it's tomorrow, but I don't know if that's correct. So just look it up. And maybe a harmonic on the daily, but it looks way too deep to be at a. I mean, maybe no. It's another mix of a Gartley and a bat. They should make that a harmonic. I mean, actually, I don't know. Maybe those don't work out too well historically, but I've seen so many mixes of like Gartleys and bats where you hit a 618 from X, or from X to B, and then you hit an 886 from X to D, but we'll see. I mean, regardless of a harmonic, your next major resistance is 25 on the daily, so You just want to hold above this 1850 area, and then maybe look at it like this, a little bit of a falling wedge or down sloping channel. All about just holding 1852. IPWR. Nice, it held 15, it was back testing it for like 2 weeks, now it's moving back up, it was up 6%. Your next resistance is around the upper $18 to $19 level, and your support is 15. That's literally it. You are unfortunately in between them, so a little bit of a 50-50 there, but it's, you know, the trend is your friend for right now. Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. Alright, so I just typed in the last 4 takers I saw in the chat. Those are gonna be the final amount of takers for the night. I've already streamed longer than my normal stream time, so I'm gonna do 4 more takers. Pretty much I'm just finishing out all the takers that were already in the chat, but I'm gonna put some dashes in the chat right now. Under that line, don't drop any more takers. Done for the night for new take requests. Let's finish out these 4. Sorry if I missed any, it's not too easy to get all of them. No storm, not sure what the deal is. 2 times this week your power went out. Have you called? I mean, you probably did, but or maybe looked at the website of like your power electricity provider if there's any updates there. And thank you, Cheddar Freeze, for dropping my trading course in the chat. If you haven't seen it, Cheddar Freeze just dropped the link. So yeah, 4 final takers. First one is GENI, broke out of a falling wedge, testing the 200-day moving average. Classic bullish divergence on the daily. Next resistance is 1950. Your support is 1378, so you are in between them. It's really in a 50-50 area right now. So I can see it's going either way, but it did break out of the wedge. And you did a really good volume today, the highest volume since like, I think 2 weeks. ZYNE, nice day today. I just want to see it hold above 433. It was your resistance in April of last year, resistance in August of last year, support in March of this year, and support for the last month. A little bit of hidden bullish divergence on the daily as well, on the MACD and on the RSI. Bullish engulfing candle. I think this has room up to $4.80 first. If it can break that, then 530-ish could be your next resistance. It was your low over here, resistance over here, resistance over here, lows over here, lows over here, and then maybe a bullish shark as well. I mean, not if you go with this low, but if you go with this low, then pretty close to a, not perfect. Maybe a bullish cipher then, if we go with this low. But it's not deep enough, I don't know. Close to a bullish cipher. Very, very close to a bullish cipher. Nope, I don't know. It's a mix of like a cipher and a shark. Kind of weird, haven't really seen that before. I mean, it makes sense because they're higher high harmonics, but it says earnings are on the 11th. If that's true, that's what it all comes down to. 2 more tickets to go. HIMS, nice MACD crossover to green. It's at the make or break area, right? It's testing these lows from the beginning of May. If it can't hold it, you don't really have any horizontal support left. If it can bounce above it, there's room all the way back up to 12. It's just a matter of if it can continue to hold this level and reclaim it or not. Right now, it's just very indecisive. 2 doji candles in a row on the daily, which is just indecision. So eventually, I mean, personally, just because of how long this downtrend is, I would just wait for a breakout first of this channel. But again, depends on the earnings. Not financial advice. I will look at that for you, Joel, because it's Microsoft. I know we've been talking about that one for a long time now. That'll be the actual final ticker of the night, though. Any hidden bullish divergence on the daily is playing out. Your next resistance is really like 370-ish area. If it breaks that, then you have pretty much 450 as your resistance after that. And then in terms of support, it's kind of hard to find a good one. Maybe just use this as like your demand line, a little bit of like an upsloping channel. So I just look at it like that. You just want to stay within the demand line or above the demand line of that channel. And then final ticker of the night, Microsoft. It's just so strong. It's just so strong. Broke out of a rising wedge to the upside, back tested the breakout, went up again, hidden bullish divergence almost confirmed on the daily. Bullish convergence on the 4 hour. I mean, Right now, the trend is your friend on Microsoft. It's insanely strong. It is still around overbought on the daily RSI, but it's been like that for almost a month now. I'm just gonna look at the levels. I don't really have much of a bias here in terms of resistance. Your 2618 is around 304, and also obviously your psychological resistance at 300, and then you even have a mini resistance over here around like 290, psychological as well, I guess. And then in terms of supports, you have this gap fill at 281, then you have the previous supply line over there, and then also you have 263 from this high. So those are all the levels on Microsoft. And yeah, really good stream. Shout out to everybody who's been sharing the stream and just helping me grow. Really good to be hitting 50 viewers on a stream after a pretty rough couple of weeks lately. My playlist finished, so now it's just playing random songs. But regardless, I'm finished the stream right now. So yeah, thank you everybody supporting the stream. This is the final stream of the week. Just reminder, on Monday I will be doing a live stream with Tar Heel Blue. Just follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, and I'll alert everybody on Monday morning. But be there on Monday for real. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to be doing live trading and just chopping it up. It's one of my first collabs. So we've done a couple before, but yeah, it'll be fun. So be there on Monday morning. This is the final stream of the week. Everybody have a great weekend. Good luck trading tomorrow. If you do participate in Lotto Friday, manage your risk. Do not risk anything more than you're willing to risk. Lottos are extremely risky. I cannot say the word risk enough. So do not be surprised if every single lotto fails. They're literally lottos. How often do people win the lottery? Very little. So remember, they are lottos, okay? Manage your risk. Good luck tomorrow. Trade within your own knowledge barrier, but also try to grow your knowledge barrier every single day. And yeah, have a great weekend. Thank you for watching the stream. Let me find a good song to finish out the stream on. I think we'll just pick a random one. I don't know. I think Kanye West is dropping an album tonight. Let's just listen to, what's this? Why is it not playing? Oh. All right, we'll listen to this. All right, have a great night, everybody. Peace out. Join the Discord, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button.
Tell what's real.